Hey fam, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me in this general tarot reading. It's going to be a community read. You know the drill. If it doesn't resonate and all that good, that's fine. It's cool. But I have a feeling that you were drawn to this video for a reason. I like to share positive vibes. So even if it's, it doesn't help with a particular right now, that's okay. You're still invited. It's cool. Let's see what kind of words of encouragement you could use right about now. And maybe we can help you process something at the very least. Keep each other company. Thank you for being here. Let's get into it. Okie dokie. We're going to go ahead and cut these archetypes and see which one we get today. Eros. We saw this recently. This is a card, if I'm not remembering incorrectly, about like desire and sensuality, right? It's also one of the last cards. Yep, love is desire, eroticism, and sensuality. So where's the part that's like when this card appears? So the questions are like, what do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? I almost said ecstasy. So Eros reconnects us with the primal. What am I hearing outside of my home right now? Floggings at dawn. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Moving on. I'm hearing almost like a rumbling on cement, like when pulling in a garbage bin, one of those Rubbermaid types of garbage bins. But it's only happening when I'm talking. Is that my dang jaw? What the fuck? Hello, excuse me. Okay, so this card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart, and remember, though the way is circuitous, you are always being led toward its center. It's gooey in there, right? Well then, fam. So, but I'm also getting kind of like, was that a kitty sneeze? Kind of like the vibe of the Lovers card. How it's not just about romance and having a honey, you know what I mean? It's about love. That love for yourself and your own body, feeling comfortable in your skin, love with the earth and life, and just good vibes, really good vibes, Let's see about the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck, shall we? What is the general vibe? To share some positive vibes with the YouTube fam today. What's going on over here? What's happening? What kind of encouragement can we give to people right about now? Cutting the deck, and we are once again faced with the Sun card. This card, my friends, has a tendency to show up after like dark nights of the soul. Yeah, flowers on the bottom. Be honest with yourself. What's going on? Because like that kind of stuff, we can be sneaky snakes ourselves, right? The way our unconscious and conscious minds work and all that psychological shit, right? Like there are times when it's like, how come I didn't figure that out? Like, it was so freaking obvious. And I just like, you just needed to have a particular perspective, right? And for some of us, when we're dealing with dark nights in the soul and depression, we have a tendency, it's like something in our lives made us believe we deserve it. We belong there. And that kind of shit really tends to piss me off, all right? It really brings out the mama bear in me, right? I'm a caregiver and I'm very protective. I'm a mama bear. And so like I've mentioned before that for years, for well over a decade, people keep telling me I should be a life coach. That sounds like a lot of responsibility. I'll just share some positive vibes on YouTube. How about that? So I'm comfortable with that shit. So where even was I going? You know, the people pleasing, the bending so far backwards again and again that you're upright times 1,000, right? And just sometimes when we get down into the depths, some people, when they hit rock bottom, they grab a shovel. And I want you to remember that with the same tools you built that shovel, you can build a ladder, because you don't belong down there, right? There's a big difference between being comfortable with the dualities within you as you rise up into that singularity that encompasses all, because we're all connected. We're all biological beings with divinity within ourselves, right? Yeah. So, in theory, you don't belong down there, right? Sometimes you're just surrounded by a bunch of negativity. Sometimes these people can seem like your peers, like you just have an understanding of one another. Fam, that can be trauma, okay? Part of our responsibility for our lives is being able to recognize that difference, right? Being able to remember that when it seems dark, that's when we're the beacon, okay? Because you don't need anyone else to save you. You don't need to borrow anybody else's ladder to get up there, okay? You are the sun. You are. But also, back to the beginning when I said how this card tends to show up when someone's been through a lot of darkness, a lot of something's had you down, regardless of whether it's a few pegs or... Would you like to transform that into a ladder now? Right about now? That would be good. It's a reminder that there's always a new day. There's always a new dawn. And as long as you have another day, you have more chances. You have options. May you have all of the options that you need, all of the resources and all of that good. May you know what they are so that you can utilize them, right? Maybe you just moved and you went from having this passion, this sense of adventure, and suddenly the homesickness is kicking in and you don't have any like friends, anyone that you can depend on, right? They're all strangers and smiles in a bar or something, right? This is just, you need a reminder that you should feel alive. That being alive isn't simply pain. It doesn't have to be, and it shouldn't be. So what can we do to enable you to remember how to enjoy, to know for yourself at this point in your life how to be alive and comfortable in your body, sensuality and all of that, whatever it means for you, right? Because you deserve it. You've survived. You're still here. And I am so thankful, because we need more people like you who are empathetic without being manipulative, who care, who, you know, those who are constantly being, oh, you care too much, you're too nice. Fuck you, get on my level. You know what I mean? Stop telling people that they're too nice. No such thing. No such thing in this world, okay? No such thing. You need to calm down and stop being shown how to do it. Maybe that's the problem, right? We remind them that they're not as nice and they should probably stop being a douche. What's the clarification? I don't know. We're about to find out, right, fam? What is the general tarot vibe? What are the words of encouragement that we can share with the YouTube fan for whatever's going on, whatever's being mulled over in their hearts and their minds and all that grooviness? I tend to think of the tarot as its own story as well, right? Different chapters and parts and all that good. So let us see. I feel like, yeah, let's go ahead and cut the deck. My knuckles are not happy with me lately, so I'm not shuffling quite as much. Don't mind me. I'll just... Okay, chapter 1 is the Ace of Wands, NBD. No big deal, fam. Just going to start off with here's a gift from the divine, right? The question is, are you going to pick up this dang wand or what? It's kind of like they're handing you the baton and it's your time to go, right? The wands are passion, courage, and the aces tend to speak of new ideas, creativity, right? New opportunities, progression. Like, okay, you know, you've reached this point here. You ask for help. Boosh, there you go. You know what I mean? What's chapter 2? The 2 of Wands, fam, the way this deck has the aces as ones. And now we got the 2 of Wands. Okay, why not? So my favorite thing about this card is not only are they standing on like stable ground, right? But they're looking out. And they've got the world in the palm of their hand. And it's like, what's next, fam? What's next? We're literally in we're going in order of the Wands suit right about now. Do you think the cards are making a point? We've already been speaking of passions and sensuality, eroticism, if you will, and painting the sun back in your sky, opening back up, returning to life, remembering to live. You are flesh and blood. Enjoy it. Honor it. To boosh, fam. Like, what's going on? You know, we're speaking on passions. The Emperor's on the bottom of the deck. I don't know about you, but for me, the bottom of the deck tends to speak of like, if this were a, my paperbacks are buried. Here we go. Oh, it's a library book. Let me see if I can be sneaky. It's, if it's a paperback book, right? I don't want to dox myself, damn it. Then it's like the blurb on the back, right? That's a trade paperback. Just saying. To, you know, the cover drew you in. What's the vibe, right? And this round is the Emperor. So the Emperor has a lot of responsibility, right? And not just, I like to think like, why would you want to be a princess when you could be a queen? Why would you want to be a queen when you could be an empress? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's just different vibes, wanting to be taken care of and provided for, and for somebody else to do all the hard work or whatever the heck, the mundane crap, whatever. And being secure within yourself and knowing how to handle your own business because you've been through it all. And you're still able to nurture. You're able to go with the flow of your emotions rather than being swept away. You know what I mean? The Queen and King of Wands coming out like phoenixes from the flames and all that. Survived trial by fire and rocked it, right? The Emperor has a lot of responsibility and he's handling it. It doesn't mean that he doesn't care. It just means he's in charge. And knows what he needs to do, knows what he's responsible for. He made these choices. He chose this life. I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of ruler you would be, right? Would you be nice? Could you be nice? That would be nice. Won't you be my neighbor? Card 3. Card 3 is the Ace of Cups, fam. What's going on? What's happening this week? When am I uploading this? What's happening? What's going on, fam? How you doing? So, a lot of people like to talk about the cups, speaking of love and all of that good. But we're in the process of coming back to life and opening back up, right? So this sounds to me like the divine universe has got your back. They've been wanting you to win this whole time. Whatever the divine universe means for you, right? If you're following the laws of attraction, a la Neville Goddard, I love that shit, by the way, or Buddhism, that's you, right? You. And your mind controls your reality, right? All of that interconnectiveness creating reality. So it's the culmination of things. We're always on the right path, right? But with our free will, we get to decide, you know, like, oh crap, I have no self-control over this time blindness. Whatever will I do, right? You know, kind of like the Two of Swords. I mean, you know, if you just sit on your ass and you don't make a choice whatsoever, you're still making a choice, right? You know what I mean? This is, please give in like it's anime. Don't worry about why the doctor is a freaking reindeer. It's okay. Enjoy the story, all right? Would you get past this shit? You know what I mean? It's fate and the divine and the universe and all of the woo-woo, all of it backing you up and saying, no, you have a path. You're on it. You're already on it. Yay! Doing something right. All right. So, you know, but what's the point in wanting? What's the point in desires if you're not even going to open up for them? Right? If you're not even going to be willing to accept them, which includes accepting that you are worthy of them. Divine thinks you're worthy. Divine thinks you're worthy. Let's do this, right? Let's see what else is going on so that we can figure out what in the what. Let's look at the big picture. We still only have 3 tarot cards. Moving on. I said what I said, fam. Are you going to stop and smell the roses? First of all, I have a question for you. Do you really think this motherfucker's going off a cliff? Might. Fuck it, you know? But white has a tendency to speak of things like innocence and purity and, you know, not doing anything wrong. You're just vibing, right? And Buddy has a white dog there. What if, I like to ask this with a Fool, what if that's your wisdom? All of your wisdom gained through life being like, hey, I'm glad that you're having a wonderful moment, but can you look down for a sec before you trip over a rock? Fall flat on your face. Like, we don't know what exactly they're standing on. There could be like just a little step down. You know what I mean? It's meant to speak of that childlike awe that we can have in life again. Every freaking thing going on here right now, fam. Stop and smell the roses. Or, you know, pluck a rose and stroll on, friend. You know what I mean? Find that joy in life. Because this is your life. Stop looking to the externals to make you happy, to help you figure things out, right? I feel like when it comes to the tarot and all these readings here on YouTube that all of us are uploading constantly, like it's really just different versions of life coaches. And part of the thing that can be so addictive is the positivity of it all, right? Thank you if you're returning and you've heard me mention that before. I appreciate your patience. And I feel like so many of us need that right now. We need those reminders, right? We got off track. We got bogged down by the muck and the mire of life. Hashtag life, right? Our responsibilities, you know, when we want to live a certain way, have a particular lifestyle, that includes the internet, that includes electricity. I mean, it's winter in the northern hemisphere still. How about we have some heat? You know what I mean? Like, there's certain choices that we make for the lives that we choose to live. There are those doing just fine off grid. You know, like, this is you being reminded, if you haven't already remembered on your own, that this is your life. You're supposed to be living it. Whatever you've been guilt tripping yourself about, whatever you're hanging on to, I don't think you are anymore, actually. So I'm not even sure why I'm just yapping now, aren't I? Like, that's in the past. You know, you've suffered your consequences and you've suffered the consequences of others enough. Okay? What's going to come up underneath the Ace of Wands? Freaking love the tarot. What did I just say? These cups, to me, I know that there's another card, the Nine of Cups, where you also have like cups stacked behind them. But this one, they just seem so freaking hollow, right? And they're getting ditched. They're being ditched. Like even the moon is like, damn, right? Right? Because you've been there and you've done that, right? You burned the t-shirt. You don't want it. Or you could just, you know, reuse it, chop it up and make something cute. I don't know. I'm already at that point where we've had a pretty mild winter here in the Pacific Northwest. And this week it's like, I was looking at those stuff and I was like, dang, why is it so low all of a sudden? So, because it's January in the Pacific Northwest, silly. It's like recognizing, okay, one of my favorite mantras, affirmations, whatever, recently has been, I see beyond the illusions of this world. The brainwashing. And I embrace truth, right? It's like recognizing what Hollywood and society has done to us, and it just leaving a bad taste in your mouth. So, you know, are we gonna, well, we already have the Fool. Where's the Hermit? Hey-oh. Coming up underneath the Two of Wands is, it was painful, eh? Haha, that's why I tapped into it, wasn't it? But it's coming up underneath the Two of Wands, right? Like I just said, I guess. The tens are the end of a cycle and the twos are the beginning. That keeps happening lately, doesn't it? In certain readings. It's like, hey, we're acknowledging how painful this has been. These dark nights of the soul where you thought you belonged there at some point when you never did. You should have been cared for, provided for, at the very least, respected. But you've been betrayed, cheated on, lied to, stomped on, etc. We'll keep it somewhat light and go with etc., right? The trauma of it all, the scars, the things that have been going on that people haven't even realized, right? But it's the swords. So we are talking of the mind, right? It's whatever it is, whether it began with your heart, it's been lodged in the mind. And it's been a difficult obstacle to get over, of sorts, right? I got a cat hair on my face. Oh no, tickles. So, but I really appreciate that lately it's been giving us the 10, this 10 in particular, with a 2. And it hasn't been the Two of Swords. I dig that. I dig it. You should dig it too. It's pretty spiffy. Because here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. 100% fam. Here, you look thirsty. I got a rose. You want to sip it? Right? What's going to come up underneath that cup of that Ace of Cups? How about the Queen of Cups, fam? You ready for that queen action? So we have, oh my goodness, no, why? We have the masculine, the divine masculine energy of handling shit, that outward motion, you know what I mean? Whereas the feminine vibes are more nurturing, it's more intuition and internalizing. It's acknowledging your feelings. And this Queen of Cups, she's not bogged down by her depression anymore. She's able to go with the flow of her emotions and her thoughts as they come, her existence. and handles it, right? It doesn't overwhelm her. She feels. Some of us feel so deeply that it can be easy to get caught in those little titles, you know? This is showing that you're coming out that other end if you haven't already. Right? Maybe the Two of Wands came up first because this is already past tense and you're already in that initial chapter. Or they threw out all the encouragement they possibly could with those first 4 cards. What's coming up underneath the Fool, man? It's this freaking Ace of Swords. 26. Okay, 26 minutes in. I'm going to take a moment longer, okay? Listen, what? We have 3 freaking aces on the table. Points being made, all right? So, there's a fear to things not working out, your endeavors, the things that that are really important to you and you really want to do, because right off the bat we were discussing passions, creativities, the ooey gooey places, right? Wanting adventure, wanting to chase all of the horizons. You find one, there's another, you know what I mean? Right? So, right? So, how about some mental clarity? How about you honor how far you've come? How far you've come, fam. And you enjoy that clarity over it all. That ability to survive humanity in and of itself, right? And know that you're capable. You know what to do. I know that this is the general vibe of this channel, me reminding you that you know what to do. I'm not here to be a dictator. I'm here to remind you that you already know what the fuck to do, fam. And you've got it. You've got it. One by one, check, check, check on down that list, fam. And if you need to do some evolution, some alchemy, you have that power over your own life. It may take some time for certain things to come up, but you've got it. And this, it's time to have fun again, if ever, right? What's the epilogue to this tale? It's another 2. Balance. Hey, wasn't I talking about that at some point? Probably. Shit, right? To new beginnings, to not getting washed away and tugged and pulled, right? The way depression can do, right? There's a big difference between being like a hermit. Wow, you know what? I just realized there's no hermit card that came up this round. But we have these 2. So what if this is the card? Or is that backwards for you? That's totally backwards, huh? Oh my God, thank you for your patience. I'm just going to vibe, all right? It's time to chill. Just fuck this shit. All these freaking superficial, hollow people. I'm done with this pain. I'm done with all this crap. These lessons that I've been learning have been teaching me what not to do, who to not allow to get anywhere within arm's reach, because right? I can breathe again, right? Wow. Wow. What are the extra notes for this 5? Now that we're at a whole 30 minutes. I keep trying to do them shorter, fam. I keep trying, I swear. I keep trying. I'm getting better at it. Slowly but surely. Thank you for believing in me. Now I want to shuffle these. These are a bit easier because they're not so stiff. I got these knuckles from my mama. Right, moving on. Hey, where are my fellow Virgos at? Boosh. Okay, all right. most of my videos thus far, up until just recently, have been just general, all signs things. But one thing I can tell you about us Virgos is we are really good at analyzing shit. So, maybe up on that mountain, my dear hermit, you can recognize that you've already got it figured out. And now you just got to follow through. You already know the recipe. You chose the recipe. Now you just follow through. Don't forget where you've come from in the sense of honoring it and enjoying the wisdom because you've been there and done that. No more, right? Move on. Like, that's good. No over analyzing, okay? And then, no, really, meditate. Listen, meditation and things like that and affirmations and such are some of the best free resources for your sanity, okay? And getting in tune with yourself and not harnessing, but honing those skills, the muscle of intuition, right? And your own personal power, you know? And it's different for everyone, right? You don't need music unless, you want it. You don't need a guided meditation. You don't, go ahead and research the different ways of meditation. You might find yourself a bit surprised. It could just, when you're going for a walk and you've got that song going, or you're just looking up at the clouds and the trees and the stuff like that, that's a form of meditation. When you're just taking it all in. Fuck yeah, dude. That's meditation, right? So don't worry about traditional crap if it's always, just not been for you. If that's what's kept you back from it for so long. And figure out what it really means and can be for you. Because it's very beneficial and I highly recommend it. Because you need to remember that sunshine, friend. You need to remember that it's always going to come right back up in the sky. This isn't a Daniel Bartlett frickin' story, the Nightmareland Chronicles. If you're a horror fan and you love reading books, I highly recommend them. The Nightmareland Chronicles. This isn't that, okay? This isn't that. The sun keeps coming up, damn right, okay? And you're going to remember that, and you're going to thrive and enjoy that fact, okay? This is a great time to be alive as far as I'm concerned. You got the divine and your ancestors and everyone rooting for you. Rock that shit, okay? Oh, fam, thank you so much for keeping me company, even though I babbled like a motherfucker. I really appreciate it. And until next time, always remember that I love you.